Ready? All right. Sure you're hydrated?
Yeah.
All right. All the hits, Q97.1, Danny Salas, Afternoon Drive. I told you we were going to have special guests live up in the studio all afternoon. We're all the way live from LA Live at the Staples Center, site of 2014 SummerSlam, WWE Network, and on pay-per-view this Sunday. Order it. And we are here with a bona fide former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Among other titles he has held, we have got Daniel Bryan live in the building. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I appreciate you taking time.
Yeah, no problem.
And we kind of said this a little bit off the air. I know you've been talking a whole lot already this morning. Really, there's nothing I'm sure I could ask you that you haven't answered already.
Do you know what, though? It's weird because people don't ask. I don't know if I've talked about wrestling at all. Like, people ask it.
Who are you and what do you do?
No. You know, and it's fun. You know, this kind of stuff is actually fun for me because it's like we just get in these weird conversations. You know, we were just talking about the NSA and that interview over there about this surveillance and all this kind of stuff, and we're just like, oh, okay.
Meanwhile, the suits are all like, you got to promote SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
You know, you guys are supposed to be talking about the event.
Yeah,
on Sunday, right?
I'm not on it. So, you know, so I just talk about whatever's fun, you know, like, so.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, first, elephant in the room, man. We got to get all the negative stuff out of the way. How's the neck?
So the neck is fine.
Cool.
It's the ulnar nerve coming out of the neck that is the issue.
The
and so
residual stuff.
Yeah, and so it's like I might have to get another surgery. That was scheduled actually for Tuesday. The most frustrating part about all this is just the back and forth. Do I need another surgery? Do I not need another surgery? So we had scheduled it for Tuesday. We were all set to do it.
All right.
And then they said, no, we're going to go get some more tests. And I don't want to get the surgery. Like, but if I have to get the surgery, I want to do it as soon as possible because then I'm out another 3 months. Man. So it's like,
So besides rehab, what have you been doing with your downtime?
Oh my gosh,
You're out of the ring time.
All I do is rehab.
Yeah?
It's literally, it's like, I wake up, I take our little dog to doggy daycare.
Yep,
and
we know all about your dog. We know all about
and
your
then,
dog.
then I go to physical therapy session number 1. Then I come home and eat real quick. And then I go to my ART appointment. And then I go to another physical therapist. And then I go to acupuncture. By the time you drive around to all these different places and get back, it's like you're exhausted. I have to go pick up the dog again. And then, you know, we try to cook some food and write a little, because I'm writing an autobiography. So
are you?
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm writing.
Dude, that's cool.
So I'm doing some writing and stuff on the evenings, but you know, by then I'm so tired, I have no mental focus, and it's like, so I did this, and then
every chapter is about doggy daycare.
Yeah,
it's literally all I did today.
Right.
So are you going the Mick Foley route and writing like literally in your own words your autobiography?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because I'm very slow at pretty much everything, and my writing process is also very slow. But they want this out very quick,
right.
So it's like,
of course they do.
You know, so yeah, it's, you know, I've been working with kind of an editor and sending him stuff, and like I was supposed to have the first chapter done by August 1st, and now here we are at like August, whatever
genius
it
takes
is.
time, brother. Tell him, can't rush perfection, man.
Right, yeah, so you know.
Dude, well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to reading that, man, because just reading the life of Daniel Bryan circa 2013 would be interesting enough, man.
Yeah.
Your whole journey up to that point would be enough. But man, hearing everything that happened prior to you signing with WWE, that's amazing, dude. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like honestly, I've always been a WWE fan, not necessarily a wrestling fan. Although as a wrestling fan, you got to be aware of New Japan and All Japan and all the indie feds and stuff. So even with that, even just being kind of a dedicated WWE fan, I've always known about. Well, Daniel Bryan, your previous name, Daniel Bryan, you're like one of the names that everyone kind of knew about, even though you weren't signed to the big league yet. Right. You were kind of the man who everybody knew about. Like if you were any kind of wrestling fan or WWE fan, you had to know about Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, it was interesting because I did a dark match in 2008. They were contemplating signing me then, and then. I came out and I wrestled Lance Cade, and and we were in Oakland, California, and I got this really good reaction. I was like, "Holy cow! Do these people know who I am?" And like, kind of took me back. I was like, "Oh, this is strange," you know. But
dude, well, you mentioned Oakland. Oakland's like a huge freaking city region for indie fans.
Yeah,
man. Like they're hardcore. That's hard. Anywhere on the West Coast, man. You know, West Coast, I'm sure you know, has freaking tons of indie feds. Dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. What name were you going by back in 2008 when you had that dark match?
It was Bryan Danielson.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it was. I think they just had me come out as Bryan Danielson. So
son of a gun.
Yeah.
So man, let me ask you this. Like, I mean, I kind of know the answer already because it's kind of been the character that you've been portrayed on TV. But did you always kind of consider yourself? Did you know that you were going to be kind of portrayed as the underdog coming into WWE from the Indies?
You know, didn't know how it was going to be portrayed, you know, and it's just interesting because it's like, you know, I never expected success in WWE, to be honest. I had heard so many horror stories from a lot of my friends and stuff like that, you know, that's just like, there's not a lot of opportunities and stuff like that, and kind of that rang true for the first little bit that I was in WWE. And Arn Anderson told me, he said, if you're going to make it here, you really need to get the fans behind you, kind of like Jeff Hardy did. Jeff Hardy got what he got because the fans really got behind him.
Yeah,
you know?
like
and so,
seeing where Jeff Hardy started, man, who would have pegged him to be a future WWE champion, right?
Exactly. And so, you know, Arn had kind of told me that, and that kind of, it ended up ringing true. But it's like, I didn't know. I would assume I'd always have to play that underdog role just because I'm smaller and everybody's bigger, and you know, you're in the land of the giants. But I've always hoped that they would at some point see that there was a potential for a character that's kind of like Hoist Gracie, where it's like Hoist Gracie was like smaller than everybody in those first UFC, but he was so good technically that, you know, he was just, oh wait, no, here's this big monstrous muscled up guy, and he's like in there with this little Brazilian guy.
Here comes a little badass.
And like what, you know, and so like sure, he might get punched a lot, but then he just turns around and there's the submission, and like I'd kind of always hoped for something like that, you know, but you know, you never know.
Dude, well, that, and I kind of thought we had a chance to interview your wife. Congratulations, by the way. Everyone saw the Waiting on Total Divas. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Talking to your wife kind of a little bit about peaks and valleys and stuff. When you first got signed, well, I won't say, the first time you were kind of exposed a lot on WWE TV with the Nexus. And then kind of something happened. You were kind of released for a while. And how did that play on your psyche, man? I mean, you were like trying to get called up to the WWE. Boom, you do. And then all of a sudden something crappy happens. And
well, you know, it's just interesting because I told Vince called me to fire me himself, and so it was it was very. I've had 2 conversations in my life with Vince on the phone where he's called me, right? And so the second one was that one where he was calling to fire me, but it was like I had told him, I said, he said, I really apologize, but we have to do this, and I said, don't feel bad. I'm going to make more money this year than I've ever made in my career, because that was a high-profile firing. And as soon as I got off the phone with him, I called Gabe Sapolsky, who used to be the booker of Ring of Honor, and I said, Gabe, we're going to make a lot of money this summer. Like, you know, like there's going to be a lot of people coming out, and there were, like, I did a Chikara show that next week, and when they announced that I was on the show, I think they got an extra 200 people coming to the show or something like that. And like I had T-shirt, like they had made me T-shirts in like a week, and they were selling like all these T-shirts.
What did the T-shirts say? You allowed to say? Was it something specifically related to your
I don't know. They didn't tell me not to say it, but they said violence on it and a picture of me. And so it was like, awesome.
That's awesome.
And so it was. You know, and then I come back doing a nerd character.
Right? Like, hey, but it's crazy because people were digging the whole Nexus vibe, and then when you came back, dude, people were freaking on board like you were like the savior, man.
Yeah,
like you were a second coming. No, I apologies to Chris Jericho, but yeah, you were like the second coming of Daniel Bryan. They freaking dug it, man.
Yeah, for a while, and then there was the nerd character, and then all that, and like it was like well, you know, it's been up and down, like you said, peaks and valleys. It's you know, it's been a very interesting several years.
Right. And well, interesting to say the least, man. I mean, you have had just the most roller coaster career, really, just in the last year or so. It's just been up and up and up.
Well, it's interesting because, like, you know, people will talk to me about like how it must have been really hard on the independents, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was fun. And and now there's hard parts, you know, like people think the injury is really hard, and it is, and it's frustrating, and it's not the best timing or anything, but it's still, like, it's fun. It's like we literally have if you love wrestling, there are some people who got in this to be famous or to make money or whatever, but if you're somebody who loves wrestling like I did, there's no better job for me. Like, you know, it's just one of those things where you feel very fortunate because this business doesn't owe you anything. William Regal taught me that, you know, when I was 19 years old. He said, this business doesn't owe you anything. Just because you come in and work hard doesn't mean that you should be getting all this stuff, that you should, you know, like, you come in and we're lucky to do this, because if I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing something else that wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Right.
So,
like I'm sure your worst day at work is better than your best day doing something else, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way, dude, that's what we all strive for, man.
Yeah.
Got to enjoy what you do.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this. When was it that you knew that Daniel Bryan and your yes chant were mainstream? Was there something that happened on an episode of Raw or somewhere else on TV that you were like, you know what? People freaking know me outside of the WWE universe.
No, and it's just funny because like little things will hit me, and because I don't take anything I just take everything with a grain of salt. I'm just like whatever, But Titus O'Neil texted me and he said, "Hey, are you at your hotel room?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Turn on ESPN right now." And like,
Yes.
and so I turned on that
Yes.
Michigan State basketball thing, and I was like,
Crazy.
wow, like that is incredible. Like,
And there's no freaking doubt it was because of you, because literally nobody else is doing the yes chant.
right, yeah,
Except for maybe someone behind your back right now.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
my brother Brian.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're here talking about materialism. Do you want to talk to us?
Yeah, easy.
I know, he's such
We-
a little nerd to me.
We've
He
got
likes to pick on me.
really we got Nikki Bella getting picked on by Daniel
That's
Bryan right
yeah,
now.
he always picks on me.
So
That's 'cause he
literally,
loves
I've
me
been talking
so
to him
much.
for 12 minutes. It's been all about how materialistic you are. So that totally last 12 minutes was gone.
That's awesome.
We're gonna have to do this whole interview over.
What is your defense?
I am not materialistic. I appreciate and I'm grateful for all the amazing materials in the world.
I heart
appreciate
materials.
it. It's such, hard work. I mean, leather like that, wow.
Right?
Think of all the animals that have died for that beautiful leather. I mean, it's just.
It's not how they feel, it's how
You
good
guys,
you look.
it's already, they're already dead. I mean, do we leave them in the stores and not get appreciated of the hard suffering they went through? Or do we buy it, in their memory?
You make
memory.
She makes a valid point. She
In
makes a valid point.
honor of the cow that was in honor of the cow that was tortured for this leather, for this jacket, I am going to buy it so that they will produce more and kill more cows.
Remember you forever, and just know I'm so sorry the suffering you went through, but I will always remember you.
If there were ever,
She's talking just so the viewer,
Yeah.
just so the listeners understand. She's talking to her purse. that
yeah,
is
she's
made out of leather.
talking to her purse,
They
and
killed an entire cow for that purse. So
and worth every hoof and snout.
Just
They were-
kidding.
I would literally pay every dollar I have in my wallet to hear a Nikki Bella Daniel Bryan debate about killing animals, and that would be the greatest.
Go on for
right?
a year.
That would be the greatest.
He's so stubborn, he wouldn't give up. And I'm stubborn, and I wouldn't give up.
I know this to be true. I know this to be true.
Bring in the men.
All my money to hear that. Cool.
somebody book it. Somebody book it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to you in a minute too. We promise nothing. We promise nothing. Well, cool. I know we got limited time, and I'm glad you brought up the Sports Center thing. Being on the West Coast, we are huge San Francisco Giants fans, and I'm gonna tell you this right now: we're watching the Giants game, and that's when we knew that Daniel Bryan was worldwide.
Yeah.
Because not only were the players, Hunter Pence specifically, doing the yes yes chant after a home run, but on their jumbotron at AT&T Park, they had the silhouettes of the yes. And I'm like, dude, Daniel Bryan and WWE is worldwide mainstream. That is friggin' awesome, man. So
Yeah.
I congratulate you on that, dude.
Well, how about this? I'm going to turn heel on your program right now.
Here we go.
So the Seahawks this year are
shoot.
going to destroy the 49ers. Destroy the 49ers. I hate to say it to all you Bay Area fans out there, but the Seahawks, NFC West, are going to take the whole league over. Boo, 49ers.
And just like that, every Bay Area football fan is no longer a Daniel Bryan fan.
Okay, but I will say this. I do, because we have so many 49ers fans on the roster, and I like to give them a lot of crap. But they will all say that when the Seahawks aren't in the playoffs or once the Seahawks are out, I root for whoever's out of the NFC West.
So, there you go.
So like the year before, I rooted for the 49ers the whole time. Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take whatever we can whatever we can get.
Yeah,
man.
so don't boo me when I come to the arena. I only boo the 49ers when they're playing the Seahawks.
Attaboy, there it is. Daniel Bryan, hey, good luck with absolutely everything. And again, just as a fan, man, you are a pleasure to watch every time you step into the ring, every time you have a mic in front of your face. I enjoy it, man, and I'd love to see your ride. And we were there at SummerSlam last year when you won the title for couple seconds. And we're obviously watching at WrestleMania. Those are moments that are going to live on forever, man. And you've earned every second of those moments, and I appreciate everything you've done in the ring, man.
All right. Thank you very much.
And last question. Where are we going to have some wine? Because we totally, my wife and I, want to buy you and your wife the least expensive bottle of vegan wine in L.A., so let us know.
Well, I've never drank in my entire life, which is weird. So, yeah, my wife loves wine, though, so she'll drink the whole bottle.
Near beer all around. Daniel Bryan, live and direct. Right. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Q97.1. Man, you are awesome. I appreciate that again.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You mind if we take a couple quick pictures?
Yep, no problem.
You're the man.